Alrighty folks, today is a big day for the Call of Duty community. Finally, I can share some details of Modern Warfare multiplayer, specifically regarding the brand new 2v2 mode Gunfight, and I have personally played it at Infinity Ward Studios, which means of course I do have to disclose that Activision did fly me out to LA and cover my accommodation while I was there. But as always, I'm under no obligations to give you certain opinions, feedback, whatever. You know me anyways, I'm going to give it to you straight here. And folks, let's just dive in. A 2v2 mode, Marley? I can see you asking there. Well, pull up a chair, grab a beverage and listen up. You'll have noticed the background gameplay is Face Off from Modern Warfare 3, a 1 vs 1, 2v2, 3v3 playlist with smaller maps custom built for that playlist. And it was a ton of fun. It made for some very sweaty games, let me tell you, but in a good way. It was just a different change of pace for COD, and Face Off definitely had a strong cult fan base, which included myself for previously mentioned sweaty reasons. And Infinity Ward for Modern Warfare have developed a similar 2v2 mode called Gunfight, which significantly cranks up the sweat ometer. Trust me folks, this mode will be on another level, and let me tell you why. First off, the maps for this mode are really small, like much smaller than Modern Warfare 3's face-off maps, at least the ones I got to play on anyway. Still big enough to use a sniper on, don't worry about that, but there's not much room for error, put it that way. And speaking of guns, in this specific game mode, there's no creator class, and instead, to really fucking separate the wheat from the chaff, all 4 players are given the same random loadout each round, and that's random as in, okay, in this round it's a silenced AR round, or the next one is a sniper round, like I mentioned before. There's no wacky classes, at least for me. Like there wasn't a fucking, we weren't hit with a thermal scope SMG round, although I guess that would also show who's boss if you can deal with that setup. But the setup also includes everyone having the same equipment, like grenades or that, but anyways, everyone gets the same loadout, and that really makes it a true test of skill. I did mention rounds there, so yeah, it's first to 6 round wins, and if you're thinking that's going to drag on forever, trust me, it's not. It's actually got a really nice pace to it, as each round only lasts 40 seconds. You're right in it from the get-go. This is the type of game mode where you need to lean forward, you know what I mean? Get in the zone. You need to make the most of those 40 seconds and kill the enemy team to win the round. If there's still players alive after those 40 seconds are up though, then a flag spawns in the centre of the map, and the first team to cap it wins the round. For me, this scenario did happen quite a few times, and it really did get my heart racing, because well, you're trying to weigh up your options in your mind so fast. Do I push for the flag and expose myself? Is the enemy capping the flag as I'm thinking this? Should I just camp the flag and wait for them to... Or do I just fucking... I don't know, my mind is getting frazzled just thinking about it actually, because it was really quite intense. You could also just shit the bed and go in guns blazing, but it was honestly really intense. And I believe if both teams are just full of shite bags and don't even capture the flag, then the team with the most health wins the round. And before that scares some of you, health in Gunfight works kind of like hardcore, where you don't heal after being shot, but at the same time it wasn't hardcore levels of health. It was standard health, but once you're shot, well, you're shot, so you do need to be a wee bit careful when moving around the maps. Speaking of which, I got to play on 3 different maps. The first was called King, which is basically the inside of a warehouse, and actually it really reminded me of Kill House from Call of Duty 4. Remember that DLC map? It was like a smaller version of Kill House, to be honest, and it was rectangular in shape, quite narrow. It had an elevated power position in the middle, and it was symmetrical, so there's definitely not much of a chance for excuses to be made, trust me. And I'd say this was my favourite map of the 3, because I was a fan of Kill House back in the day, and I'm sure that's where they got the inspiration from for this map. But next up was Pine, which was set in a forest, and I believe this screenshot we were shown last month could very well be from that map. This was a more kind of circular map, I'd say, definitely the biggest of the 3. Not a big map, but the biggest of the 3 I played. And from what I can remember, it was almost like the edges of the map were raised higher than the centre, and it kind of formed a bowl shape with, of course, trees and debris obscuring your view. Not entirely sure if this map was completely symmetrical, I don't think it was. And the last map I got to play was called Stack, and that was a more squarish shaped map in a shipping yard, similar shape to Shipment. Yeah, why did it take me so long to think of that name? But yeah, it was kind of like Shipment. There was 2 spawns in this map. They were elevated, though that's not like Shipment. And you could see right across to the enemy spawn with 1 wee movement, which kind of turned the sniper rounds into a Wild West duel. These were just the maps we got to play on, by the way. The devs did stress to us that Gunfight has plenty of maps on its own, and even though they are smaller maps, each is different enough to pose a different challenge each time. And it really does challenge you when you have to use a class that you normally wouldn't in a regular multiplayer game. So even though I do think it will be filled to the brim with tryhards, at the same time I think Gunfight could be good for you if you're looking to get better with all types of weapons, because it just kind of forces you to adapt. And just rolling back a bit, I don't know for sure, but regarding the mode specifically, we only got to play that one mode. I don't know if Gunfight is just that mode specifically, where you have to like kill the enemy team, or if you don't, you have to cap the flag. It wouldn't surprise me if they've got other modes for Gunfight planned, more modes that last longer or have a different objective to them. I'm just speculating at this stage, but that was the only mode we got to play at the time. And I think that's me just about covered everything to do with Gunfight that I know of so far, folks. And I just want to say, if you're new to my channel, then why not hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to join the notification squad like the 2 legends on your screen have done. Plenty more Modern Warfare videos to come, trust me. And that possibly includes one taking a look back on Infinity Ward's own live stream reveal of Gunfight taking place today. I'll link that in the description. Actually, by the time this video is up, you'll be able to see Gunfight in actual Modern Warfare gameplay for yourself. And I know for a fact a lot of you will be loving the news about this Gunfight mode, but are desperate for some juicier details on multiplayer as a whole. And I can let you know right now that the multiplayer gameplay premiere will be on August the 1st. Not too long to go now for that, but hopefully Infinity Ward's livestream gives you a wee taster of what's to come in terms of guns in the game, the speed and flow and all that good stuff. Do let me know in the comments, folks, what you think of Gunfight and the potential it has, if you see yourself grinding some hours on that, or do you think you'll be sticking to the more regular multiplayer modes? A like on the video would be much appreciated as always. Let's go for those 2,000 likes, that would be fantastic. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.